All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And salutations to the Akim out there laboring of the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And, I seen, through the spirit, a different kind of aura that's going on amongst Israel. And pretty much just over with Jake, period. You're starting to see that the separation between the weak and the strong. And I say that because when I look, this truth is so in depth, and it teaches us all things. The full knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and pretty much how to deal with everyday life. The scriptures give us great life lessons, and we're pretty much we're in the know. Okay, so when we pretty much look at the world and our people and the state of our people for what they are, you're seeing in one instance, you see a very feeble, weak spirit in the men, and the reason for that, is because these women are pretty much running the household, and the woman pretty much has nobody to blame but themselves, okay, because it all goes back to Uncle Sam pretty much letting them know, all right, if you want to receive any goodies, any government handouts, pretty much, you got to do what we say. You can't have pretty much have a man in the household. Okay, we don't need a man to raise the children, especially the men. And this was all a ploy to basically break up the family house structure. And we're starting to see, through the spirit, we're seeing the lasting effects of that with these men that are out here that are emotional and very weak, and pretty much, their mindset is like how a woman's mindset is. The wisdom is not there. They're all into vanity. Everything is pretty much superficial. And they're gonna succumb to their MOTB at the end of the day, because when this man pretty much rolls this thing out, it's gonna be handed out on a silver platter. It's gonna come with incentives. It's gonna come with things that's pretty much going to feed the flesh, so to speak. We got this universal basic income that's pretty much coming out, and $2,000 a month is what they're throwing that idea around, which will pretty much will become reality. Now, when you're dealing with the Jake as a whole, $2,000 is not really, today's money is not really a lot of money, but it is a game changer for a lot of households. You see, so Jake is pretty much going to pretty much take that bag, take that route, and the conditions that go right along with it. We have to see now, even when we're dealing with these celebrities and everything else, when the celebrities get out of pocket, so to speak, this man, what he does is he hurts them pretty much financially. You see, all right, they control like puppets through finance, and this is the same thing that's going to be pretty much put on the masses of the people, but getting back to that weak spirit, and pretty much, you got these women out here that are pretty much dealing with generations of relying on government handouts, man. Pretty much Section 8 gets handed down to generation to generation. You got mothers and parents that if they was really smart, you would be able to turn that Section 8 into home ownership, if you go ahead and play the game right, dealing with the games of this world, and how to just pretty much use the system to your advantage to basically get yourself on a type of level, so to speak, in this world, because money is a defense, but you just have to, pretty much do things in a way to where, you get yourself out of that dependency, so to speak. But Jake is pretty much following suit what they were taught by their mama and their grandmama and their aunties, drain bleed the system dry, get what all you can get, take advantage of what's given to you, don't turn down anything that's handed to you. This is the mindset that you would have. The men, now we're not talking about the women, now we're talking about the men that were raised by these women, the men, okay, that are being raised up and then of grown man age, that pretty much are partaking in anything that this man would give them, man, and they pretty much compromising themselves, So I want to start off with Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And pretty much, Satan pretty much operates, all right? His central operation is due to women, okay? He's dealing, his energy is really being dealt with through the weaker vessel, so to speak, and pretty much the weaker vessel being heads of these households, it trickles down to the men, the men and women that are being raised in these households, and pretty much, a lot of brothers that's in this truth now, we got ourselves out of that situation, pretty much to where, you're gonna rely on your enemy, and the scriptures talk about the curses being upon us, and we're gonna be in need and want of all things, and us being formerly of part of the world, we would heavily rely on that. We wasn't pretty much free thinkers, man, and pretty much lean on the Lord, and the Lord is what provides us with all things. You see, all right, and pretty much, we were basically escaped, from that never-ending cycle that we see Jake in, and they pretty much are taking on the spirit of what these women are pretty much passed down to them, man. This is why the Lord is pretty much raising up the men in these last days, man. Okay, and He's calling His sons back into the fold. But from the pretty much, from the outside looking in, we see with this world, we see how Jake is pretty much going into that slippery slope, man, and pretty much being more demonic, and pretty much accepting anything that this man rolls out as far as philosophy is concerned, to basically pull them further and further away from their power, man. And Jake is pretty much indeed adding sin to sin. You see, right? That walk and go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt, and pretty much, everything, all the accolades and the decadence of this place, our people trusting the security that this place, the sense of security that this place pretty much provides for them, they pretty much are using that as their refuge, man. The surety of knowing that the government, Uncle Sam's gonna be there, as long as they do X, Y, and Z, as long as they pretty much are on the same wavelength of being a demonic demon, as far as with as ideology is concerned, and this all goes from top to bottom, man, from the lowest Jakes really to the top heads of the people, man. Okay, all right, but pretty much that took that bag, man, that pretty much are compromised with how they move, man. Okay, and their ideology, okay, that they take on, you see, and they feed that poison, to the people, man. As far as the congregations, okay, even these guys of Israel, man, that pretty much are pretty much a so-called of the truth, but pretty much are putting in, trusting at the end of the day, trusting in the shadow of Egypt, man. When you want to talk about IUIC and the like, they're pretty much a Christian, a black Christian Israelite church, so to speak, man. That still goes on the guise of, at the end of the day, really putting your trust in Egypt, man, instead of really putting your trust in the Lord, man. Okay? They're not giving the congregation the proper tools needed, man, the spiritual food that's needed, man, to really step out on faith, man, and fully depend on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and want and need of all things, man. They still want to do things with dealing with Esau's paperwork and pretty much just setting it up to where they're looking for this man to uphold them, man. Okay? You see? But it says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Because what's coming down the pipeline is pretty much going to have our people bewildered, man. Okay? They're going to be in a state of delirium, so to speak, man. They're going to be had in derision, man. You see? Because why? It's because it's a trap for our people, man. And it's very imperative that this damn man has you take that sea hit, man. Okay? Because he knows pretty much of the prophecy, man. He understands, okay, that what he's about to roll out, man, that our power is totally and fully against, man. Okay? And it's gonna be a great test amongst the people, man. You see, he understands the end game, man. Because why? It's because the end game is really him rolling out what he wants to try to upset prophecy and pretty much have no flesh for the Lord to save, man. That's his ultimate goal, man. But the Lord has the remnant, man, that's gonna pretty much come out of this, man. And this is why the days are pretty much being shortened for the elect's sake. You see? But getting back to the weak against the strong, Jake is pretty much done for, man. Their mindset, man. These guys, you got grown men that are still have the mentality of children, man. You see, of children with no direction. You see, when you really look at it through a spiritual lens, these people are all caught up in vanity, man. Okay, so pretty much, man, that UBI is pretty much gonna be that catalyst to continually feed their flesh, man. Okay, and depend on Egypt for wanting need of all things, man. And they're gonna continue with that mindset, man. You see, and one of the reasons why they had to get the man out the house, man. And I always use this analogy with the show Good Times. I'm slacking for being long-winded though, but I try to get the point across concerning the state of the men. I'm really focusing on the men. But when you talk about the show Good Times, okay, you had James Evans Sr., pretty much the father, which was played by the actor James Olmos. He pretty much was the strong pillar, that had pride. He pretty much knew this system was rigged. The system was against us. He pretty much preached that. And we really, he was always oppression make of a wise man mad. And it seemed like he was always mad on the show. And pretty much he felt the oppression, man. But what he knew, he had integrity, okay, and he tried to pretty much whip his sons into shape, so to speak, man. But the sons were pretty much being babied. But what happened was the writers of the show seen the family makeup that was back then in the 70s, man. And basically what these like small hat writers did was they wrote the father off the show, you know, when pretty much he had had passed away, so to speak. So now, you know, you have left the mother raising the family, you know, depending on the government assistance, you know, living in subsidized housing, you know, and pretty much the two sons, and one was pretty much on the fruity side a little bit, you know, a little feminine tendencies, and the son, the oldest son, which was JJ, you know, was pretty much a clown, man, you know, just a oversized tall buffoon, man, you know, that didn't take life serious, man. And this is what pretty much he was supposed to take over the reins of being head of the household, man, you know. But when you look at that dynamic, you can pretty much sum up that dynamic of the Good Time show of that family, okay, the Evans family. You can sum that up on how you can look at the tribes, man, the households of the tribes, especially Judah, when you have the father being taken out of the household, man, okay. That's how the household was pretty much would look. That would be a microcosm of how it would look, man, okay. You see, and there was no future with that, man. They were not really advancing themselves, man. The children, the offspring, his offspring, because the father was not there, man. The sons especially didn't have no real sense of direction, man. You see? Okay? You know, but the Lord always talks about, man, of how a man would naturally put order in the household, man. You know? Let's grab that real quick. Let's go to Sirach. Let's go to Sirach. Let's go with 30. And I want to read several verses within this. This is Sirach chapter 30, verse 1. He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod, and he may have joy in him in the end. You know, and one thing on that show, Good Times, you know, and I want to use that analogy of the so-called Negro household, you know, James Evans, the senior, the father, he was always pulling out that belt, man. Okay, that leather belt was always in play, man. When you're dealing with putting the pretty much putting the sons in order, man. You see, pretty much putting the sons in order. That belt was always in use, man. You know. Okay, and that belt was really just keeping his sons in order, man. Okay, you see, right? It says, and he that chastises his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him amongst his acquaintances, man. Why? It's because you really with that structure being in the right order with the man in the household, man. This is how you would guide your sons, man. Okay? And this is strictly talking about the sons, man. Okay? Because that is the man's offspring, man. That is the man's legacy, man. You see? Okay? It says, he that teaches his son grieveth the enemy. And this is so true. You know? It's because pretty much, man, when you teach your son who your enemy is, man. Okay? And really, you're really gonna have that type of mindset, even especially more now, brothers. That's in this truth. But even when you're in the world, man, you kind of when you sum it up to where you have a household that's in order. When you come and sum it up, though, man, you're already letting your sons know that this man's a goddamn devil, man. You see? But it would grieve the enemy, man. Okay? It would kind of look at this man. Side-eye looking at this damn man, okay, and not trusting in him, you see, okay, and that's one thing that he had. James Evans, man, he had a lot of pride, man, but I'll say pride in so much of a righteous pride, man, really with dealing with integrity, man, you know, okay, he'd rather find a way, man, than to rely on Uncle Sam, man, or a government handout, man, you see. But he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, man. Okay? This is why they understand how we was when we had structure in the household, man. Okay? It would grieve the enemy. Why? It's because you're raising your own sons, man. You're keeping your own sons in order, man. Okay? You're right. They're not getting chastised by the police or Esau's system, of imprisonment, man. Why? It's because you're teaching your sons at home and they're in order, man. Okay, so they when they go out in the world, out in public, they act accordingly, man. Okay, they're not running around like a bunch of misguided misfits, man. You see, all right, misled misfits, man. You see, but it says, "He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him." Why? It's because you have a sense of pride, man, sort of in your offspring, man. Why? It's because you are raising them the right way. You see, okay? It says, though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead. And pretty much the reason why that would be is because you're instilling all of the integrity and all of the qualities that you possess yourself. You would instill that within your offspring, man. Okay? So you would have a whole bunch of little mini yous walking around, man. Okay? Imagine how it was, man, when the household was in order, man. You see? Okay? It says, again, though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he have left one behind him that is like himself. You see? Because why? It's because it would be just like, oh, you're just like your father. And when you have a pretty much a person of integrity and that raises his son, his son's gonna follow suit and have those same qualities, man. Okay? Things like that would definitely grieve the enemy, man. Okay? The enemy is set up to destroy you, man. The enemy is set up to destroy the household, man. The whole family structure, man. Okay? He wants you to depend on him, man. Okay? You see? And this is what leads us to the men these days, the weak men, okay? Because you're seeing that masculinity come back in the earth too, Okay? We were speaking about that as well. But dealing with these weak men, you're seeing that they take on the traits of their mothers and aunties, man. Okay? You see? But it says, while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful. Why? It's because he basically done all he could, man, to raise a good son, man. You see? Okay? All right? And he's going to take on all of the same quality traits that the father had, man. Okay? You see? And pretty much and be in order, man. All right? And keep the family structure together, man. This is why they did not want us in the household, man. Okay? There was all the whole ploy of it, man. You see? Right? And it says, he have left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends. You see? And that's the fear that the enemy has, man. That you left behind an avenger. Okay? Somebody that's gonna pretty much really not be blindsided by things that were atrocities that were done in the past, man. Know not to trust your enemy. Pretty much know that, you even though you smile on my face, you still the damn devil, man. You see? Okay? And knowing that at the end of the day, his day's coming, man. Okay? You see? It says, he that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds, and his bowels will be troubled at every cry. You see? Okay, you don't want to pretty much, because that's what mothers do. Mothers overcompensate for the father not being in the household, which makes a lot of these men out here are weak and effeminate, man. Okay, because they decided to try to overcompensate for him, man. You see? Okay, all right. It says, and horse not broken becometh headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful, man. And that's what they really want you to do, man. And this is why the Lord said, man, the Lord's pretty much, talking about, he's a healer for the fatherless, man, pretty much, man, all right. And this is why we see how Jake is gonna succumb to a lot of what this man is about to roll out, man. Okay, you see, because Jake is pretty much so programmed to when you give Jake an inch, they take a whole mile, man. You got to remember that nigger mentality that Jake has, man. Okay, you see, and this is why us being this truth, man. You can't do for a 2/3 nigga that you do for a brother, man. No way, shape, or how can you even do that, man. Okay, you can't even put them in the same. And I don't care if it's family or no family, man. You cannot put do more for 2/3 than you do for your own brothers, man. You see? All right? Because these guys out here, man, these Jakes out here, man, they're just a bunch of just straight up niggas, man. You see? All right, from there, let's go to Ciroc. I'm staying in Ciroc. Let's go to Ciroc 40. Let's see. I'm gonna start at let's start at 28. My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better is it to die than to beg. And that is so true, man. That is so true. Because why? It's because when men that were back in them times, man, when the family structure was together, the man always had integrity, man. The father always had integrity, man. Okay, and he always wanted to make his own way, man, and not depend on a so-called Esau Edom, man, for anything, man. You see? Okay, it says, the life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not counted for a life, for he polluteth himself with other men's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof, man. And our people are pretty much defiling ourselves, man, because you're dependent on another man's table, man. Okay, you see? All right, you're dependent on another man's table, man, and you're being defiled with that damn man. Okay, why? It's because even when you talk about these celebrities and stars, here it is, they got a God-given talent to be able to have fame, and people like their art, or their craft, just on the merit of them having talent. But guess what? These people have to do a lot of abominable things, man, to be able to receive and keep on receiving money, man, or receive riches and comforts of this world, man. They have to do a lot of abominable things, man. Okay, so this man is pretty much has the power to put you in front of the camera and get you that exposure and get you out to the masses, though. But wait a minute, you gotta do these things behind closed doors, man, before we can do that, and before you can get the riches, man, that come along with that, man. Okay, you gotta basically give us your soul as well, man. Okay, you see, all right. But you dependent on another man's table is not counted for life, man. Because why? It's because you're polluted with that damn man. Okay, all right. This man has it all, but you gotta defile yourself with him, man, to be able to get what he has, man. You see, right? But a wise man that's well nurtured, okay, will beware, man, okay, of knowing that this man's your enemy, man, okay, and having integrity, man, and not degrading yourself, man, for a bag, you see, right? Here's the point: begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless. You see, and that is so true, man. It's just like Jake is so programmed of begging and even when you talk about like somebody that's not really doing anything for themselves, man, and that's able-bodied, but they rather beg, man. They rather beg. They rather rely on what Uncle Sam has to offer them. Okay. You got able-bodied men, grown men, going down to the welfare office, man. You see. Now there's exceptions to the rule, with certain situations, man, where brothers might be in certain situations to where, it's needed. But you got guys that are pretty much programmed to depend on this man's system, man. Okay? And anything that this man gives them is a win for them, man. They'll take it, man. They'll take it in a heartbeat, man. And they'll do anything, they're willing to do anything for it, man. And now don't have the integrity that was pretty much supposed to be instilled in them when the father was in the household, man. But being that they're raised by the woman, okay, and being that the woman is trying to suck the government dry on anything that she can get her hands on, you see? Okay, but what the scriptures talk about, man, the venture shall fail, man. Okay, so these things are about to dry up, man, and the nigga woman, the Eve is then they're gonna be through, man. You see, okay, but begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless, man. Okay, there's no shame. You don't have no type of integrity, man. Okay, you actually right now, man. This is how downtrodden the tribes are, man. You got a man, a whole grown man that's supposed to be the sons of the Most High, man, a king, man, okay, that's pretty much going and pretty much you got men that are out there that are pretty much begging a woman for spare change. You see, okay, you see, this is how the scriptures talk about, man. The woman shall surpass the man. Here it is. You seen the woman dressed all dolled up and got the perfume on, the smell good on, and everything else, and strutting her ass to work, you know, going to work. And here it is, you got a regular Jake, a bum, pretty much shameless, man. And basically, it doesn't pay him he doesn't bother him at all, man. And he doesn't mind asking this woman to give him some money, man. You see, okay? You see the state that our men are in, man. Okay. And that is a curse, man. Okay? You will not see that from no other nation. No other nation would have the man of that nation begging the woman of the same nation for money, man. You see? Okay? All right, this is the state that Jake is in, man. You know? But even guys that are even on a better situational level than that, still living a beggar's life, man. You know, begging is sweet, man. They pretty much are programmed, man, to just be able to just take handouts that is given to them, man. Okay, so that's gonna be no different from when this UBI is being rolled out, man. Okay, because it's gonna come with conditions, man, and Jake is gonna be totally on board for it, man. You see, you're gonna be totally on board for that, man. You know, all right. From there, let's go to second address. Okay? Let's go to second address. We'll get the point real quick. This is second address 16. Let's start at 67. Right? This is second entrance, chapter 16, verse 67. Behold, the Most High himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So the Most High leads you forth and deliver you from all trouble, man. But the ways of the wicked, our people are seduced, man. Okay? But pretty much they're slated to be of the 2/3, man. You see? But we don't get caught up in these things. We don't get caught up in what this man has to offer, man. We don't get caught up in this man's ideology, man. Okay? It's getting weirder by the second, man. Okay? You see? All right? And Jake is totally on board with what this man's rolling out, man. You know? Totally in agreement with it, man. Okay? You see? And it just shows you that they don't fear the Lord, man. Okay? They can go to all the churches they want to go to, man. They don't teach you how to fear the Lord in these churches, man. You see? It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take you away, certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols, man. You see? And then that great multitude, man, it's gonna be when Eve rolls on you, Jakes, man. Okay? You see? All right, he has to have a specific purpose for you, Jakes, man. Okay? to partake in what he has to offer, man. You must partake in this, man. Okay? You see? You know, he's going to get all the other nations to basically drink of that wine and deceive them. But it's a very imperative that you Jakes, man, you little Latino Native Americans, get under his thumb with this whole thing. Get totally on board with what he's about to roll out, man. It's very imperative that he has you do that, man. Okay? All right? He knows who the hell you are. Yes, it's very imperative that he does that, man. You see? But it says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. Okay, and the Lord's going to create that scenario, man, that you people are going to be held in derision, and at the end of the day, you're going to be destroyed, man. Okay, whatever way the Lord slates you to be destroyed, man. You see? Okay, but you people are pretty much going to be consent to what this man's about to roll out, man. And we're talking about the MOTB, man, that C-hip, man. You see? All right, and Jake is pretty much primed to accept it, man. They're primed to take the conditions that go right along with it, man. Okay, you see, all right. Jake is not walking around with integrity. Jake is not walking around with the backbone, man. Okay, you see, all right. Jake was not raised by a strong man, a pillar of the household, man. Okay, you got to remember that's taken away out of the household, man. So what? They're gonna react just how the women are, man, and really, their mind, okay. They're not stable, man. You know, they're not stable. They're pretty much in a sense of defenseless, man. Okay, they're spiritually and mentally defenseless, man. Okay, because this truth is not in them. All right, and more than likely it wasn't meant for them to get it. You know, and they're slated for that that sword, man. At the end of the day, man. But when you talk about the remnant, okay, the strong, and really we're looking at these weak, man. The Jake that's weak out there, man. The men, okay, in particular, man. All right, and the small, feeble mindset that they have, man. Thinking like little children, man, grown ass men. You see, all right, that are spiritually and mentally and defenseless, man, against this man. Because why? It's because this damn man is going to give you incentives to continue to feed your flesh, man. You know? All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, the great millstone, who teach and rule well, and salutations to the Akim out there laboring up the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. Shalom, Akim.